Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my page. This is Salva. I'm back. I'm happy to announce that I will be uploading more videos. I've been absent because I was focusing on my course and I finally graduated as a psychotherapist. And I have more time to upload more videos. So please do subscribe. And if you have any inquiries, any themes you would like me to explore and talk about it, do contact me. Send me a message, an email, and do let me know. Today I've been inspired to talk about self-care and why is that important for for ourselves to look after ourselves. This is a topic that is very close to my heart as I really struggle to implement self-care in my life. As a psychotherapist, believe it or not, we have to have self-care as a priority to look after the clients and ourselves. So I feel very inspired to talk about this. So what it is self-care? What it is self-care? Is caring about something by you caring about yourself. According to psychologists, self-care is providing adequate attention to one's own physical and psychological wellness. Now, if you want to implement self-care, you will be looking into your physical needs, psychological needs, mental needs, and soul needs, and what those areas needs. So remember, we have mind, body, and soul. So you need to be looking into these three areas that you could be implemented self-care as a way of improving your wellness and well-being. When should you do self-care? This is a very important question. And ideally, you want to do every day. And there will be times when you need more. There will be times when you could implement little every day, every 3 times a day as you need. It's important to remember self-care is not the same for everybody. There will be different things for one person to another. And sometimes depends on what you need and what helps you to relax, to come down. That's what you need to follow. Not because someone does a yoga means you also want to do yoga because that person find it useful. You might find it useful. Sometimes we not everybody wants to do the same thing. So you need to find what it is for you. And when should we do? When should we do self-care? Um, it's important to be aware of our bodies, our minds, our souls, and be aware when we need that more self-care. For instance, when you have no energy, you're feeling down, you're feeling like something is not right, then is the moment to do something about it and do some kind of activity that helps you to look after yourself. That's what I call self-care. Now, that can be very difficult sometimes if you haven't learned how to look after yourself, if you haven't been able to listen to your body and you haven't thought about it. You haven't been taught about it because perhaps as a child you were told that you don't need it. You need to keep doing on and on and on and on with our daily activities, and you haven't been given that space. Or perhaps your mother or you whoever looked after you as a child didn't really pay attention to that. Really didn't pay attention to your feelings. Perhaps they didn't really listen to you and what you needed. Perhaps you needed to follow just what they told you, how things were supposed to be done, and what you were meant to do. Or perhaps you were expected to be an adult all the time and understand the parents' requests or activities they wanted you to do because they didn't understood what a child is like. Perhaps those parents didn't have the time also didn't know what is self-care. So there is this unconscious patterns that we all carry with us that comes from our childhoods, and that's important to be aware of as well. Was I given the time to look after myself? Was I given the time to listen to my body? Was I given the time to pay attention to my pains and my needs? If that's something you were not given, that's a place to start. Be aware of what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind, and what you need at those times. So when you do it is when you need it and as often as you can. There are the different contexts of self-care. It could be physical, as I mentioned before, making sure you have a good diet, making sure you have 3 meals a day, making sure you have a place to stay. Sometimes this can be difficult, but just make goals to make sure that you have a safe space to stay. As I say, it can be difficult sometimes, but make that goal. Um, and what the soul needs as well. What does the soul needs? This can be difficult to understand perhaps the moment, but with time, as the more you attune to your body, the more you will learn about it. What tips I can give you for self-care? It could be walking down for 5, 10 minutes. It could be going for a swim. It could be dancing for 10 or 20 minutes, putting a loud music and really let your body go around and do the movements that it wants to do. It could be um, writing when you have thoughts that are really in your head and you can't let it out, or when you're too worried. It could be doing some writing or keeping a diary. It could be from looking or asking for support. That's also a form of self care, going to ask for that support because you can handle it yourself. So that's a form of self care. Going to connect with nature. Very important to connect with nature at least 20 minutes a day if you work in an office and if you haven't been able to be outside in the outside, or if you walk indoors all day. So it's important to connect to nature. Very relaxing, very recommended. Exercise, main things, any form of exercise that you can engage in, at least 10 minutes a day. Meditation, do some activity like yoga sometimes. You don't have to do the full course. You can just do 5 poses. They are very available online now, lots of videos. Um, talking to someone, talking to someone and externalizing those negative thoughts that you might have. Um, and also detoxing from media, Facebook, things like that. Give yourself some time to not watch your phone, to not be entertained on TV, and just really, really give that space to just be with yourself. That's a form of self care. The more you practice, the more you will get used to it, and the more you have a better well being. Okay, this is all for today. I hope you can implement these recommendations, and please do let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoy and have a good day.